Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Spence and I work at the Cobourg Public Library. Today we are bringing you a wonderful interview with Andrea Davis of Watton Employment Services. So Andrea is here as a very professional, over 11 years working in this field, to answer all of our pressing questions about how to gain new employment, how to beef up your resume, and so much more.
I'm Andrea from Watton Employment. As Rachel said, we're located in Cobourg on 9 Elgin Street across the road from Dairy Queen. We're funded through Employment Ontario. So what we do here is we help anybody who's looking for work, we help them find a job. We can help job seekers look at career direction. We can help them with resumes and cover letters. Basically anything you need related to job search, we can probably give you a hand with. One of the other things a lot of people don't realize we do is we actually work with employers as well. So we will do job postings for employers. We try to match up our clients to those open job postings, as well as we can help employers with financial incentives sometimes to get people on the job training. So we actually cover a wide range of services.
That's amazing. And I know that there can be some confusion about whether there's costs associated with heading to Watton. And can you give us a little bit of information on that?
Yeah, we're extremely fortunate because all our services are completely free, whether we're working with employers or job seekers. There's no charge to anything that we do. As long as you're eligible to work in Canada, we can help you in some way, shape, or form, which is really great for us.
That's wonderful, yeah. And what are your top tips, I would say, for those currently seeking a job? And I'm talking about people who are just exiting high school, just entering high school, maybe later in their career. So I know there might be different answers for all of those.
You know, and it can be, and we meet with all of those types of people. We work with people who are looking for the first job while they're in high school, that part-time job, as well as people who are maybe moving on to a second or third career and looking for some change or want to stay in the same career, but for whatever reason needs to find another job. The first thing I'd say to anybody who is looking for work is know what you want. Everybody has different things they want in a job, and that's fine. Some might be, looking for, depending on where they are in the life, the pension and benefits as well as money might be more of an issue. Some people just want to make sure there's a better work-life balance. So one of the things is really know what you want, because that can save you a lot of time and effort. If you're out there just blanketing employers with, hundreds of resumes without specific goals in mind, you're probably not going to be very successful. So making sure that you have those goals in mind, and it's going to make you a lot more successful because you're going to be able to gear everything towards that. Absolutely. So that's probably my first tip. Know what you want. And if you're not sure what you want, we have workshops to help you figure that out, because it's not always easy. Sometimes you just know what you don't want, but you're not too sure how to move forward with that. So we can definitely help with that. The next thing, and the one thing that we hear regularly from people is make sure you have a great resume and cover letter. Some people think in this day and age it's not as important as it used to be, but that's what's going to get your foot in the door. So making sure you have a good resume and cover letter that really highlight your skills is really important. Make sure they're geared towards the types of jobs you're looking for, and don't be afraid to ask for help. So that would be one of my other really big tips, is ask for help on your resume and cover letter. Let's be honest, they're no fun to do. You can Google and you'll find 100 different answers on what they should look like. And even you'll find, if you're looking online, information, American information on what should be on a resume, which can be very different than what we're looking at in Canada. Sometimes they'll put things that in Canada, we would not put on our resumes. So make sure you ask for help, make sure you have a good proofreader, and make sure you're really gearing that resume and cover letter to your career goals and what you really want. Make sure that the employers can see the value that you're going to bring to them. I could probably actually talk job tips forever. I'll be completely honest, because we could go into interview tips and get more specific about resumes. One of the things I would suggest is, for more tips, call us, book an appointment, sit down with one of our employment advisors, and we can really look at your specific needs, what you're looking for, maybe where you're going wrong, where you're going right, because a lot of people do a lot of the right stuff when they're job searching, but really nailing down, what you're looking for, and helps us kind of help you move forward. Even little things like people don't think about, how to craft a thank you note after an interview. It's extremely important. And we'll help you with all that. All you have to do is call us. We can book an appointment by phone or in person. We are open for in-person interviews, and we'll help you with whatever you might need for that job search.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And I know that we at the library have also gotten quite a few questions with this, as is Watton. Wi-Fi. Can people access Wi-Fi there?
Yeah, so we do have our Wi-Fi password posted on our front door. So if it's after hours, you're more than welcome to come in and access that if you need, or sit inside and access that if you need to. If you want to come in, just book an appointment. We have computers here for you to use. We just ask that you book appointment ahead of time. Just call us, let us know you want to use the computers. Anything related to job search, we want to make it easy. So we'll make our computers available to you. We have a printer and fax machine here. So if you need to print off resumes, which can get extremely expensive at home, ink isn't cheap. You can come in and do that. But definitely, if you need any of those resources, we want to make sure that you have them, as well as telephones. So we do have telephones available too in case you need to make any of those job search related calls.
That's fantastic for our community, and many people aren't aware of it, so that's why we're doing this. Another thing that we had talked about previously a bit was certain things that the government is currently offering for those who are seeking a job. So yeah, if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as everybody knows, it's such unprecedented times right now, and it's hard for a lot of people. We do have high unemployment right now, which isn't too surprising, but the provincial government has actually just announced to the Ministry of Labour Training and Skills Development some new health and safety training, which is really great. It's the only thing you have to do to register is contact a local Employment Ontario office like us, and we can get you that training. And some of these courses, I'm actually just going to refer to my notes really quick.
No problem.
Because they include things like training for the AODA, the accessibility for Ontarians with disabilities, conducting investigation, health and safety representative training, infection control, ladder safety, manual material handling, slips, trips, and falls, WHMIS, workplace hazardous information systems, workplace inspections, workplace health and violence, workplace violence and harassment training. So the government really has offered a lot. So all you have to be is unemployed and contact us, and we can help set you up to take any of those training. It's completely free to any job seeker who is unemployed. So don't hesitate to reach out, because there are options out there for people. Another option for young people that the government has started to has been offering for the past couple of years, but is still ongoing, is something called the Youth Job Connection Program, which is a really great program. It's for anybody between 15 and 29 years old. And what that offers is pre-employment workshops. So if somebody's struggling to find a job, we offer them workshops on how to create a resume and cover letter, as well as all sorts of workplace expectations, anything they basically need to maybe find and keep a job. We'll offer them some training on. If you're between 15 and 18 and still in school, we do have a program for those students as well called Youth Job Connection Summer. And all you have to do is want a part-time job while you're in school. And then we have the program that goes up to 29-year-olds for people who are currently out of school. And one of the big things with this program is so one of the big things with this program is that we can help people financially while they're taking the workshops. So it can eliminate some of the barriers so that it makes it easier for people to afford interview outfits, transportation. Those are things, especially in young people, that we find are big barriers for them to finding a job. So there's so much support through it. So the Youth Job Connection for anybody under 29 looking for a job, or 29 and under looking for a job, is a really, really great program that that Employment Ontario is currently offering as well.
Wow, I had no idea about any of that. So this is wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. So another thing that I guess we'd also touched on briefly was how times have changed, and many interviews are now being held by Zoom or by Skype or things like that. And is that something that Watton can help people with as well?
If you need the technology, so you have been invited to take part, because one of the things we are noticing, especially first interviews, if it's going to be a multi-interview process, is a lot of employers are asking for the first one, just to eliminate any need to see people. Oh, let me try that again. Employers are asking for Zooms just to help eliminate any extra people walking into their buildings when possible. So if you need the technology, or if you just want to practice and kind of make sure you're on top of it, we can sit down with you, make sure you have, you're up to date on those interview skills, you feel comfortable with the technology. And if you don't have the technology to do it, we do have some computers here with webcams. We can set you up in a private room so you can take part in that interview with that employer, because we definitely would not want somebody to miss out, because we're Northumberland County, their Wi-Fi connection is not great, or they don't have great internet. So we definitely want to make sure that people are able to attend those. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask us if we can help you with that.
That's fantastic. What a service. Okay, so as you know, we put out the call on social media. If anyone had any questions, let us know. So I got a couple of messages, and one of them was, which industries do you foresee hiring locally in the upcoming, I guess, Christmas or holiday season?
It is a little bit harder to predict this year, just simply with COVID. We don't know exactly, you know, what I might have told somebody in June is probably very different than what I've told them in August. And even now coming into September, things change so quickly. But always, I think retail is always, you know, moving into Christmas, retailers are always looking for people. Even if the retailers that have moved to online, they're still going to be looking for staff because they need people to package up orders, they need deliveries, all those type of things. So there's still going to be that big portion of people hiring seasonally for Christmas, regardless of COVID going on. Another thing that, you know, is not surprising to anybody is the healthcare industry. PSWs, always in need no matter what, but even more so now. But there's also different ways to help out in the healthcare industry without having to maybe become a PSW, even in different settings, whether it's in, you know, as a dietary aid in retirement residence or nursing homes, cleaners, any of those types of things as well. We are noticing an increased demand for. So there is a little bit of leeway there, but it is a little bit harder to predict, not knowing exactly what the winter is going to look like for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a very good answer. So, are there any jobs that you could predict there might be a downturn in the next maybe 6 months?
You know, I'm not too sure.
Okay,
I'll be completely
fine.
honest, I'm really not too sure on that one. I do wonder what's going to happen with restaurants, just simply with potential second wave. I don't know. We saw a huge increase. I don't think I've ever seen so many restaurant ads this summer. We had so many for all different positions in restaurants with patio season. As soon as they got the green light on that, I'm not too sure what's going to happen the same way with those restaurants as fall picks up and it's not quite as nice to be on the patio eating. So I'm not too sure, but I do wonder if potentially that sector might see a little bit of a downturn.
Okay. And I want to put it back to you for just 5 seconds to see what are the top questions that you're getting as of late?
You know, those ones that you asked too is what's in demand. That's a regular one. One of the things that we do see quite often is just, why aren't I getting an interview? Why aren't I being hired? And one of the things I would say to people, if they're not being interviewed at all, chances are your resume needs updated. So you do need to look at that resume. If you're getting the interview, but you're not being offered any jobs, there might be something wrong with your interviewing process. Maybe your skills need to be picked up, or potentially even your references that you're providing. If your references aren't saying good things, that could potentially be why you're not getting that job offer. So usually there is ways to pinpoint to some degree what's going on, but that is one of the top questions we hear: where am I going wrong, and what can I do to fix it? And sometimes it's a little bit easier. Sometimes I can, you know, we'll look at a resume quick and say, you're not highlighting your skills. That's where you're going wrong. Sometimes it does take a little bit more digging to kind of figure out what's really going on there and why they're not maybe getting their foot in the door.
No, all of this has been very valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. The library has always been such a great partner and another really great resource for, you know, anybody to go to. I know myself, I have taken out many reference books from the library, even the resume and cover letter building ones, just to keep my skills updated. I regularly go to that section. But even for clients to come in to browse, you know, to use the computers to browse job banks, all that type of stuff, the library is such a valuable community asset that everybody should make sure they use.
Thank you. You just did my whole job for me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. So we are on, I guess, a brand new schedule for August, September, and going into October. So definitely check out our social media to keep up to date on when we're open. Our computer lab is accessible right now, and we're offering printing, scanning, everything. And if you have any technological questions, definitely come in and let us know. Other than that, Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, and Andrea Davis of Watton Employment Service.